Good morning to all of you. Today in the 12th class biology we have to start the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In our surrounding the diversity of flowers are present, and this diversity of flowers having the very attractive petals. This provides the different types of scents and perfumes, amazing types of perfumes and scents. And these flowers are the sexual parts, the reproductive part of the plant. When we observe in our surrounding, we see that different types of flowers, different types of petals are found there. We have to know that these flowers and the Homo sapiens, human beings, we have to say that human beings have had the intimate relationship from these flowers from the time immemorial. You can think about that, about the values of these flowers. These are used as social, these are used as aesthetic values, these having the cultural ornamental values. Many types of values are here, and we use the flowers in the that is, you can say, in the grief, in the mourning, in the happiness, in the love, and in the affection. Means the flowers have had the emotional relationship with the human beings and with the other environmental organisms. Now we are going to start that. What are the first question is asking in our book, that what are the 5 ornamental plants? You have to make the list which are found or cultivated generally by the human beings in the gardens. Then we know that China rose, jasmine, that is the lily plant, that is the chrysanthemum plant. This type of plants can be seen easily in our surrounding. Now it is second question about that this type of plants are produced in our market for on the commercial basis. So the huge population in our surrounding and the huge demand is there of this type of flowers. So what the how will we commercially exploit this flower so that the large demand of this flower products can be fulfilled? Then we are going to that juncture, that is called floriculture, which is called the commercial cultivation. Now purpose cultivation of the flowers in the particular agricultural field, so that the huge demand of the flower can be fulfilled. So in this chapter we have to study about the structure, about the morphology, and the process of sexual reproduction of the flower inside the flower. And in this way we know that in the flower there are 4 parts. In the flower there are 4 parts, and I will show you that I have not got the very good flower, but a marigold flower in my surrounding, it was flowered. And you know that when I will see, this is the very bud like a structure, not mature, we cannot see the reproductive part of this flower, but a few parts can be visualized here. This is called pedicel. This is called pedicel, or a stalk like a structure. This is called pedicel. And you have to know that there are 2 types of floral parts found in the flower. One is accessory part and one is essential part. Accessory part is calyx and corolla, and essential part is the stamen and pistil. So I will like to show you that this is pedicel on which this flower have attached, and this is the greenish hole. This the greenish hole you are looking, I have already cut it. This is the greenish hole. What I am cutting this is the greenish hole you are looking. This is called calyx, and when you are cutting one only, you look, when you are cutting one, this is sepal. This is called sepal. You look at, this is called sepal. And when you are coming to this colored part of the flower, you are looking, this colored part of the flower, these are the colored petals. Yeah, you can say this is the colored parts, yeah, appendages of the flower. These are called petals, or you can say unitedly called corolla. So because this is the bud, we cannot visualize the different reproductive parts, but we know that in this flower the 2 reproductive parts are there. One is androecium and second is gynecium. The unit of androecium is known as a stamen, and the unit of gynecium is known as carpel. So there are 4 parts in the flower. The calyx play a very important role in the production of the total inner holes of the flower parts, and the petal having very important role because it is colorful generally in the flowers. So this petal attracts the pollinators, the vectors, the pollinators like the honeybees, like the butterflies, yeah, human beings too, yeah, other animals. This housefly is a mosquito, and this will be attracted towards the flower petal due to the attractive color of the petal, and that will cause pollination. That will facilitate pollination in the flower. That pollination is very important. I have drawn the figure of the stamen. Firstly, I have drawn the figure of flower. What is given in your book, that is in the page number 20. The figure of the flower has been given. So I want to show you this flower structure. Look at this flower. So this is the flower, and this is the second hole, which has been named by petal, here. This is outer hole. This will be greenish. This is the greenish only. This is the longitudinal section of a flower. So the only the half part of the flower is seen. So here the sepal. This will be the greenish. This is called calyx, and the one appendage of the calyx is called sepal. And this is called pedicel. This is pedicel. This is the stalk on which the flower exists, and this is the thalamus, and this is ovary. You are looking. This is ovary, and this is a style, and this is a stigma. This is a stigma. So this stigma, this style, and this ovary, it makes the female reproductive part, which is called carpel. And when you are going in the surrounding, you are getting, this is the filament, this is filament, and this is anther, this is anther, these all are anthers. So this anther and this filament and this junction, which is called connective, this junction, which is called connective. So this anther and this connective and this filament, this anther, this connective, and this filament, it constitutes a stamen, the male reproductive part. Generally, unitedly, you can say this is the androecium, but this is anther, this is connective, and this is the filament, which is attached with the thalamus, which is attached with the receptacle. So this is a stamen, and this is the male reproductive part. You can see particularly this is a stamen. So this is the base of a stamen, which is attached with the receptacle or thalamus of the flower, and this is the filament, and this is anther. You can say pollen sac. This is anther. When you are cutting this transverse section of anther, when you are going to cut the transverse section of anther, TS of anther, here this figure, after the cutting, after cutting transversely, this figure will be obtained like that. This is the filament, and this anther will be shown after getting transverse torn. This you can see figure like that. So this is the anther having the, this part, only this part I am talking about. This is one lobe, and this is another part. This is another lobe. This part, one lobe. So two lobes are here in the one flower. So this is called bilobed. And in one lobe there are two sac-like structure, which is called theca. This is called theca. This is called theca. So in one lobe two theca are there. So this flower is called dithecous. Dithecous. And two lobes are there. So the flower is called bilobed. So the flower is called bilobed. So two lobes bilobed and two theca dithecous. When I am cutting this transverse section and finally coming here, this is this total structure. You can see this is a slice of this upper part of the anther, and you are getting, this is the 4 chambers. This 4 chambers means 4 microsporangium. 4 microsporangium. You are getting here 1 microsporangium, another, second, third, fourth, 4 microsporangium. You have 4 pollen sacs that will mature and make the pollen sacs where the pollen grains are produced. So 4 pollen grains are here. In this total structure of the transverse section of anther, we are getting the outer layer is epidermis. This is epidermis. This is endothecium. This is middle layer. and this is tapetum. So outer epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, tapetum. This is the structure of the transverse section of the anther you have obtained. So this is the structure about the flower. Tomorrow we will discuss about the microsporogenesis. How does microspores formed in the microsporangium?